He is miserable. He is, he cannot do anything. In fact, we have another hadith, which is a proof Muhammad speak about all the Jews. How we know? Muhammad in the hadith, he said, very famous hadith, that time will come, and every single Jew, the Muslims will kill him. And if a Jew he hide behind a rock, the rock will say, there is a Jew behind me, kill him, which means there's no Jews except those Jews. There's no other Jews. There's no other Jews. Which means those are the ones who worship Ezra. But we cannot find them. And those are going to be exist until the day of judgment. Allah Apostle said, the hour will not be established until you fight with the Jews. And the stone behind which a Jew will be hiding will say, oh Muslim, there is a Jew hiding behind me, kill him. Who is this Jew they want to kill? The one who believes in Ezra. Which means those they should be exist until the time of Judgment Day. But as we heard from the scumbag to Riva Singer himself, the one who he prayed to me, this Muslim, Abdul, they don't believe in such a thing. Not a single Jew. They never heard of it. Not him, not his grandpa, not anywhere. And Uzair is even different name from Ezra. You see, they try to merge names to make you believe they have the same name. Ezra is not the same as Uzair. It is a false name. Never exist. And now because they cannot find it, they have to say, well, some of the Jews believe in it. So why Allah saying, why he called them Jews? Let us see this guy. He is so excited to call me. We are calling him. The funny, they keep calling you when you are talking. Maybe they are doing it on purpose. And when you call, they don't answer. Here we go, it's not answering. Hello?
I'm just new to your channel. I heard about my questions and had.
I don't understand, my friend. I don't know. I don't understand you. Can you speak more clear?
Yeah, I mean, I'm new to your channel, and I want to know to convince me to leave Islam. So can you just Christian friend said that you can help me.
Okay, well, how I can help you? You need to help me in order to help you. How I can help you? What do you want? What we talk about?
So the surah, I think I sent you the text, the surah about don't question about Islam. So
are you a Muslim first?
Yes.
Okay, can you say the Shahada to be sure? Okay, so chapter 5 verse 101, what do you want about it?
I just want to know about that this is don't question about Islam. So I want to find the truth. I read the Quran, and I want to know, because I couldn't find Muhammad's parents, the Quran, and I want to know his story, but it doesn't talk about his background.
Doesn't talk about what?
His parents, about his father and mother.
Yeah, you see. Okay, hold on. No problem. But how many times you heard the Muslim cleric saying, like, don't ask how Allah he sat on the chair? Is that correct? Don't ask.
Yeah.
Okay, don't ask how Allah look like. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, don't ask how Allah hand is. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Don't ask how Allah can hear. Is that correct?
Yeah, don't ask about.
Okay, so that this is not about his father. This is about questions, very serious question. We need to know about the God, and then they are forbidding you to ask the question about the God because themselves they have no answer. This is not about his parents and my parents. So if we take the interpretation you are giving me, That means we can ask all the other questions, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
But as you know, that's not true. Muslims are forbidden from asking questions. The second you ask them, you are considered as a disbeliever.
Yeah. Because, I read the Quran and they talk about Jews, Christians, like, they say that they are the son of Allah. And I was like, well, I don't understand that part.
My friend, first of all, we don't believe that the Messiah is son of Allah. I know that Arab Christians, they use the word Allah because they are under the occupation of the Muslims, but Allah is not our God. So we believe that the Messiah is a son of God, and our God is not the God of Muhammad, just to make it clear. And very easy to prove that Allah is not our God. First, the ethic is the opposite. The ethic of Allah is satanic, is not holy. God is holy. Same time, your God is not a spirit. Our God is a spirit. Number 3, our heaven have no sex, no penises, no vaginas. Your heaven is nothing but that, gold and silver. And our heaven, all those things, material things, is not really located. So if we have the same God, we should have the same heaven. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So the reward will be the same, the gift will be the same, and the salvation will have the same value. But as you say, your religion, your prophet, he said, a Muslim man, when he go to heaven, his orgasm will be 70 years. If you say that in front of Jesus, he will cast you to hell, because that means you are a pervert. What kind of a person? He promised his followers, if you believe in me, I will give you orgasm of 70 years. So if the orgasm alone is 70 years, so how long the sex is? And just to use, if you use your brain, you can use your calculator. If we calculate only the orgasm, 70 years for orgasm, you have 72 women. Each one of those 72 have 72 made. Each 72 have 7. That will be like millions of women to sleep with. So if you sleep with a woman today, just to finish and go to the same woman, you need millions of years to come back to the first woman you start with. So what's the point? And all of them look the same. All of them, they sing the same song. They have the same face. They have the same hair. They have the same height. And they have the same age. So simply you're sleeping with the same woman.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Don't you think this is really stupid? I mean, imagine you have a lot of women, all of them, they look the same, and they have the same voice, the same. Imagine you enter a dating website. You will see in the website, all women have the same profile. Her name is Tutu. She is, 16 years old, because 6 years old. She mature, like Aisha. And she sang the same song. Like your prophet, he mentioned even the song. They will sing all the version. They will sing the same song. How in the world is that? Are we going to have sex with Barbie?
No.
What do you mean no? Because if they have all of them the same song, that means they are they are programmed.
Yeah.
Because there is no way. If we enter a place and then all women, they sing the same song and they sing it to you. Every husband in the heaven of Allah, they will sing for him the same song. They are programmed. But what Allah, he taught them only one song.
Because our whole program, Allah, when we go to heaven or when because I don't know what's gonna happen. If I pass away, because we all have time. Next day, the other day, I don't know. Because I do dua, so I don't know my response. I don't know what's gonna happen to me. And in heaven, we all don't know.
My friend, and I'm here to help you if you want. I mean, just think about it. Islam is a stupid religion. I mean, what kind of God he wanna fool me with with such a silly promise? This is not even convincing for someone who is 6 years old. This is a Barbie promise. I mean, I can go to the market and buy a Barbie, and the God who will make for me promise such a. I mean, this is an insult for the brain of a human being. That is cannot be from the true God.
Yeah, I understand.
Look at this hadith as an example. Are you married?
No.
Okay, don't worry if you get married, because the hur will support you if you fight with your wife. Listen to this. The Prophet said, whenever a woman harms her husband in this world, his wife among the Huris, she will say, you must not harm him. May Allah destroy you. He is only passing as a guest with you, and he will be soon with us. This is really.
Yeah, I see.
What the heck is that? So you are fighting with your wife and look like the whore. She have a camera in your house.
Yeah.
She is watching, and she will shout you from there, leave my husband, future husband alone, okay? While you are harming him. Shame on you. Why you hit him with your high heels? May Allah curse you. And different hadiths, they will start cursing them, and they are fighting over you before even you go to heaven. What is this? This is from God?
Yeah, this one is shocking. Yeah.
So they have the same look, they sing the same song, they have the same sex, and they speak the same word, and all of them, they have the same name. Hur. So what's your name? Hur. Okay, next. What's your name? Hur. Okay, what I will write here? Hur. Okay, next. What's your name? Hur. What's your last name? Hur. Oh, what's your middle name? Hur. Okay, so they have the same name, the same face, the same voice, the same talk, the same word, the same song, the same dress, the same height, the same eyes, the same. I mean, what the heck is that? One of them is in of them, because simply is the same.
Yeah.
And if this God is trying to make me to have fun, well, this is very boring, because all of them, they look the same. I mean, what the point of this? And they say the same words. Like next woman, she starts singing for me the same song.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like that. Yeah.
So what do you think? I mean, why you don't leave Islam, my friend?
Yeah. Also, I want to ask one thing. Like before, I could leave Islam, but I want to ask you one thing.
Okay.
I'll admit that if Muhammad was if he was born as Muslim or Sabian,
I don't understand. Sorry, forgive me. I don't understand you. Say again.
So Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah.
If he was born as Sabian or he was Muslim, because in Mecca, I heard about the elephant, the story of the flying donkey, and the Jews. He taught something, learned from Jews, the ablution, everything. I want to. I'm not sure. I want to talk to you about that because I'm confused. So can you show me something?
I have a difficulty to understand what you are saying. Seriously, I'm not able to understand you. Your mic is not really. Are you using like a phone, microphone attached to your phone, or?
Yeah, microphone. Yeah, my phone. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll repeat it again. Prophet Muhammad. I don't know if you were born as a Muslim or Sabian, or if about what he did in Mecca. I don't know, he got rid of the people. I don't know if it's his people or.
I don't know. Hold on. So Prophet Muhammad, he get rid of people. What people?
Like in Mecca,
Okay, the people of Mecca. Okay, he get rid of the people of Mecca.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cursing. Yeah.
He was cursing.
Yeah, was he cursing? I'm not sure. I think he was removing the people. I think around. I don't know if it's Jerusalem. I'm not sure the place. I don't remember. If he, I don't know if Prophet Muhammad, because he doesn't say anything about if he's Muslim or not, or if it's the
My
same.
friend, I really apologize. I can't understand anything. Can you type the question for me in Skype? Can you type the question?
Sure.
Because I don't understand the word of what you are saying. Because I cannot answer you if I am not able to understand you.
Yeah.
Your voice is very coming very unclear. Okay, let's see. Somebody maybe understand. Let's see. Nina, she's saying, the caller question is basically, what religion was Muhammad born into? Was born a Muslim or Sabian, since he was adopting many practice from people and then changing them. Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Muhammad, first of all, obviously, the Quran confirmed that Muhammad is a pagan like the rest. You know, as an example, if we go to the chapter here, chapter 74, you can read it from verse number 1 and verse number 2 and verse number 3, 4. In verse number 4, Allah is saying to Muhammad, and keep away, actually the translation is false. It says, and worshipping idol, leave alone. So don't practice no more. So what was the religion of Muhammad? So he's saying to him today, you know, clean your garment, okay? Clean your garment. Actually, the Muslims, they say that this is even the first chapter Muhammad he received. This is why when he came to his wife, he said to her, the cover me up. This is where the name is coming from. So supposedly now he came from the cave of Hira, and then Allah told him this, that Muhammad, don't worship idols no more. So what was the religion of Muhammad? Worshipping idols, and the verse in front of us.
Idols. Yeah, the sea, yeah.
Yeah. And you can, I don't know if you speak Arabic or not, but if you speak Arabic, it's very clear. It says, وَالرِّجْزُ فَهْجُرْ. So when you practice the rijz, which is worshipping idols, stay away from it, leave it, ahjur. He is ordering him a command to leave. You don't leave something if you don't have it anyway,
Yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah, so
you don't leave anything.
So obviously Muhammad is a pagan worshipper, and after Muhammad, he claimed now that he is following so-called Allah. Muhammad, he started especially when he moved and he lived with the Jews. He started, trying to make himself look like a Jew, sound like a Jew. So he started acting like a Jew. So he started praying toward the direction of Jerusalem. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, why? Why Muhammad praying in the direction of Jerusalem when we have the house of Allah just across the corner? What happened? And why Muhammad later he came back? Why Muhammad he came back later to pray toward the Kaaba? Nothing changed, But the only thing changed when Muhammad he was between the Jews. He hoped that the Jews will accept him as a prophet, and will follow him, will believe him. But they did not. So he gave up. He is not going to pray to Jerusalem no more. I mean, the Jews are my enemy now, obviously. They don't believe me, so the trick did not work. Praying toward Jerusalem did not work. So what I will do now? I am going to pray toward the Kaaba. And who is the one who suggests even the Kaaba prayer? And do you know?
The Kaaba prayer.
Yeah, to pray toward the Kaaba, switching from Jerusalem to the Kaaba. Who is the one who said that? Is it Muhammad?
The Prophet. Yeah, Muhammad.
No, it was Umar al-Khattab. Umar al-Khattab, he said, my Lord, he agreed with me. Some hadith says 10, some hadith says 3. But in this website, we will find the one that says 3. So he says, my Lord agreed with me, and I agree with my Lord in 3 things. What are those 3 things? The hijab, the divorce of Muhammad's wives, and the Kaaba, Maqam Ibrahim. All of those is coming from the command of Umar. Umar, he say it, Muhammad, he copy it, and he make it Quran. And this is why Umar, he says, the verses revealed the same as I had said. I don't know if you can see my screen. Do you see my screen in YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says here, so this verse revealed the same as I had said. If this is Quran made by Allah, why Umar, he say it first, and then Allah, he say it second? So Umar, he say, let us make the Kaaba a place of a prayer. Allah, he take it as it is. He put it, make it a verse in the Quran. Simply Muhammad is copying. I wish the station of Abraham as our prayer place. Muhammad, he claimed that divine inspiration said exactly as Umar said. Same for the hijab. Umar, he said to him, tell your wives to do the hijab. Muhammad, he made it as it is. He took what Umar, he said, he placed it in the Quran. And now the hijab is part of Islam. Actually, this funny story is very funny because Umar, he was spying at the wife of Muhammad, Sauda bint Jahsh, when she was doing pupu. He said to her, Arafnaki ya Sauda, we recognize you, Sauda. So, and then he went inside the house of Muhammad. Look how rude and look how dummy Muhammad is, to the point, instead of saying to a man, he was making fun of his wife, spying at his wife when she is doing pupu and covering her private part. And instead of saying to him, shame on you, he did what Umar said. Umar told him, you know, if we go right now in the hadith, I can show you the reference because Muslims, they can say, oh, this is not true. Arafnaki ya Sauda. Imagine a man, he come to you and he said, you are not married, so we can give an example. So, and a man, a friend of yours, he's coming to you and you live in a village somewhere, you don't even have a bathroom. You know, all these, who have a bathroom? Nobody. People go in the field, correct? Yeah. So, the women, she get out in the dark of the night because this is the only time they can do it. They cannot go outside. So, at the dark, she went outside and she want to do, you know, the call of nature. Umar, walking by, he said to her, we recognize you, Sauda. Now imagine you are visiting your friend and you saw his wife doing her pupu. Are you going to say such a statement like this to her?
No.
This is disgusting. This is disrespect.
Yeah.
And this means he is looking and staring at her because he recognized her at the night. He recognized her by name, which means he was able to see clearly everything. How come Muhammad did not say to him, shame on you, you scumbag, what are you doing? Why you are even chasing my wife when she is doing pupu? Instead, Umar, he went inside the house and he asked Muhammad many times to order his wives to command them to cover themselves. And Muhammad, he refused each time. And then at the end, Muhammad, he decided to do it because Umar kept asking for it. It was not a command from Allah. It was a command from Umar to stop Umar from spying at his wife. Muhammad is a potato coward. He don't dare to stand against Umar, who kept asking him, saying the same thing. Hey, Muhammad, I saw your wife doing pupu. Oh, Muhammad, I saw her boobs. Oh, Muhammad, I saw, etc. So Muhammad at the end, after asking him many times, he made what Umar, he said, as a verse. So now, who is the maker of Islam then? Actually, Muhammad, he said, and this is confirmed that Muhammad, stealing from Umar, he said, if there is a prophet who would come after me, that would be Umar. Do you know this hadith?
No, I never.
Okay. Well, Muhammad, he made it clear. If there is a prophet who will come after me, that will be Umar al-Khattab.
Yeah.
Okay, why? You know, what is the qualification of Umar to be a prophet?
I never knew about Umar knowing more than.
The qualification is Muhammad, my friend, he was trying to cover his bum because Umar, he knew all the laundry. He knew Muhammad copying him, fabricating things. So now Muhammad, he wanted to make Umar, you know what, you are my prophet, will be after me, okay? Because he will go, I'm stealing from you. if there is a prophet will come after me, that would be Umar. This is a statement of Muhammad. Why? Because Umar already a prophet. He is the one who received the Quran, not Muhammad. In fact, he is the one who made the Quran. And this is a Sahih Hadith. Muhammad and they cannot say this is da'if and those stories. This is Sahih Muslim, this is Sahih potato, tomato, this is here Jami' al-Turmudi. So if there is a messengers would come after me, that would be Umar ibn Khattab.
Yeah.
Because he was copying Umar. And Muhammad, Muhammad idea of spreading religion is to make his daughters, which are not his daughters, to sleep with the important men on the tribe. So one daughter he gave her to Umar, one daughter he gave her to Ali, one daughter he gave her to Uthman, one daughter. I mean, he is giving out daughters chicken, you know. Why? Because he want to grant their loyalty. And the Muslims themselves, they say to you that Muhammad used to marry a lot of women to grant loyalty, politics. But this is not the behavior of somebody sponsored by God. This is somebody is using women to promote himself. If I make you marry my daughter so I can get a job done, that means he sold his daughter. He gave his daughter for sex exchange of a service. You support me, I give you my daughter. I promise you to make you the caliphate. And this is why we will find that later the caliphate is the ones who they marry Muhammad's daughters, or the one who Muhammad married their daughter, like Aisha and Abu Bakr. It's a business, it's a family business. Yeah. So what do you think, my friend? Still you want to stay as a Muslim?
There's a lot to take. I'm reading through it, yeah. I'm just gonna head out from, because now I know. I'm just taking notes now. What you're saying and learning more. I'm shocked.
So did you decide to leave Islam?
Yeah, I decided to leave.
All right. I'm into that, my friend. Happy for you.
Amen. Yeah.
So what do you think about Christianity? As long now you deny Muhammad and his false teaching, what do you think about Christ?
Christ is he's like for Christianity. Christ they believe in as a God, and I know about Trinity as well. Trinity. I want to don't know about Trinity.
You want to know about the Trinity?
Because for us in Quran, I read it says they believe in Allah and Jesus and Mary. So I didn't respect that. So in Trinity, I think I want to learn that.
My friend, first of all, we don't believe that Mary is part of the Trinity. Trinity is God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. Muhammad is a fool. And this is another example of the stupidity of Muhammad. Muhammad, he said, the Christians, all of them, they think that Mary, she is God, but not a single Christian believe in that. And if a Muslim will say to us, a sect of Christians believe in that, never exists. Same time, even if it exists, you don't say the Christian believe, because those are obviously the Christians. Christians is those who believe in Christianity, and Christianity is so clear. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. In fact, if a person, he is a Unitarian, he is no Christian. Simple. Even if he say, I believe in the Bible, I believe in God, still he is no Christian. Christian, to be Christian, is to be someone believing in the Trinity. Now, the Trinity is very simple. You know, I mentioned this example many times, but we have many examples in life. You know, God, he put his fingerprint or signature in everything. You know, I don't know what is your education, but water is H2O. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What H2O? What does that mean? But it is a three object, but one in the same time. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is, even the Quran says, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. We made it from the water every living thing. Okay, so if the essence of every living thing is made of water, and that essence is based on three, which means life is based on three. Every life is based on three: father, wife, child.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It is three. The family exists by the existence of a three. And that goes for everything. The element of life, you know, if there is water but there is no sun, not right. If there is water and sun but there is no oxygen and air, there is no life still. So there is air, there is sun, there is water, there is life. So the element of life, everything around us, even the sun itself, the sun is a star in the sky, and there's a light coming from the sun, and the light brought with it heat. The heat is something we cannot see, but we can feel. The light is something we can see, and the star is there. But the star is the light, is the sun, is the sun itself, is the light, is the heat, is the sun. But they are three, but one. So the Trinity simply is nothing but God, He decide that I am going to rule the world in Trinity form, which means for my son is to be the judge over everything. For me, I will be the person who make the decision of judgment day. Like certain events will be done by the Father. The Spirit is the one who will accompany every person to help and to be a witness. It is an invisible witness between us. So the Trinity is very simple. And actually you yourself, by the way, the Trinity is in you. Isn't you a soul and flesh? Is that correct? Do you have a soul?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a flesh?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a mind?
Yeah, mind.
Those three things make you human. If one of them is missing, you're not. What makes a human is that he have his mind, he can make decision, he can think. And the same even for animals. Animals, if they don't have mind, they can't function. The second the brain die, you're dead. Your heart will stop working.
Yeah.
So the flesh will be destroyed, the soul will go, and you will collapse. So even you as a human, 3 and 1 in the same time. So if I as a human, I can be 3 and 1 in the same time, why God, the Almighty, who is nothing impossible for him, cannot be 3 and 1? If God, he says, I want to be 10 and 1 in the same time, who am I to tell him, oh, how come? It's God. If God decided that I will have 2 hands, well, I cannot ask him why 2 hands. What about make them 4?
Yeah.
So everything, every element of life around us is based on number 3. Even Islam, by the way, even you as you just left Islam, good for you. Even Islam based on number 3. When you do ablution, what do? 3 times touching your hand with the water, your nose, your ears, everything 3 times. You ask the Muslim why 3 times, they will say to you perfection. Perfection.
3 times, I think 5 times prayer though. We pray 5 times, but
no, actually, even the prayer was always a 3 times, never was 5. 5?
It was 5.
No, it was a 3. The Quran never say 5. Muhammad, Muhammad, he claimed that when he went to heaven, Allah gave him 50 prayer. Moses is the one or the reason behind making them 5. So the Quran says, this is another thing about Islam, you know. The Muslim, they will say that we follow Allah. The fact, no, Allah said you pray only 3 times. Chapter 11, 114, and chapter 20, verse 130. All of them, it says exactly what time you pray. The Quran mentioned that. So you pray at the 2 end of the day, which means the early morning and the sunset. And then he said here, before the sunset and before the sunrise. And why before the sunrise? Because Muhammad is a fiction. Muhammad, he claimed that the sun comes from between the two horns of Satan. This is the excuse. And the sun, and before the sunset, because the sun will set between the two horns of Satan. And then a little of the night. So 3 times.
Yeah.
In Christianity, you can pray to the Lord anytime you want. And you do not need to do it in public. In fact, a real prayer is the one is done in your home, in your door, nobody see. But always, we recommend the Christians to go to churches so they can pray as a group, support each other. A group prayer can be powerful too. So, but a prayer is done in the corner of the street, as Muslims they do, is a prayer of a hypocrite. Prayer of a person behind doors, nobody see him. Obviously, he is doing it for no reason except to pray. Correct?
Correct.
This is why Jesus says, don't be like the hypocrite who pray in the corners. So even Jesus, he warned us about people who they are hypocrite, like the Muslims and like the Jews. The Pharisees and the Muslims are the same. They go, they find the corner of a street. Why he chose the corner to pray? In the corner, because he wants every direction a street, see him. From this street and this street, nobody,
Yeah.
He will go to the corner. You will see a Muslim, he go to the park. In the park, why? Why you want to pray in the park? Because they are hypocrites.
Pray at home.
Yeah, why you want to do that? What is the point exactly? Showtime, hypocrisy, and fallacy. Any question you have about Christianity, I will be happy to help you.
Yeah, I want to talk one thing about Christianity. When you say Son of God, why do you call Son of God and Jesus Christ as God? I want to know about that because many of my I had a Muslim friend before. They were saying that like the Son of God and God it's confusing. So I want you to.
No, it's not. Let us see. Always, I try to make it in a simple form. If there is a king and there is someone he is a crown prince.
Yeah.
Okay, why he is a crown prince?
Crown. I think the king is bigger than the prince.
Okay, but why the crown prince? Where did he get his title from?
The king.
From the king. Why? Because his son, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so can I say that the son of the king, he have the blood of the king?
Yeah.
So can I say he have the same equality?
Yeah, you can say that, yeah.
And that would make him qualified to be the crown prince?
Yeah, because the king made you.
Well, Jesus, the Messiah, is born of the Father, and he have the same equality, the quality of a divine. So God's Son simply is the person who we call him the Messiah, and he called himself the Messiah, born of the Father before time, and he have the same equality as holiness, as ethic, as a living being, as eternal, all the quality of a divine. But still he is the Son. Why? Because he is born of the Father. He is not the Father. So the same as a normal human being, we say, he is the crown prince because he is from his father, not the opposite. It's not the king came from the son. So it's about who is born from who. The son is born from the father. That's why the son is called the son, and the father called the father.
Yeah.
My father called me son because I am simply born of him. He is not born of me. So he have his title. I have my title. He has his job. I have my job.
Yeah, I understand about.
So
yeah.
and when the Messiah he present himself as God's son, As an example, the Messiah, he asked the Jews, he said to them, what do you say about Christ? The Jews, they said, he is the son of David. The Messiah said to them, well, if he is a son of David, then how David called him God in his spirit? I don't know if you heard.
No.
That the Muslims, they say that in the Old Testament, there's nowhere it mentioned that Jesus is God or the Messiah is God, right?
Yeah.
But
Right.
the fact, this is a big fat lie. Because even David, he said, and he worshipped Jesus. So when the Messiah said to them, what do you say about Christ? He's talking about himself. He is a Christ, He said, what do you say about him? Well, they said he is the son of David. This is the normal answer, son of David. But then the Messiah said to them, well, if he is a son of David, then how David called him God? And now we need to know why David called him God. What do you think? Why David called him God? What is the reason?
Why David can go I think I'm not sure. I think Jesus teaches him.
Is what?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, you see, when the Muslims, they say a prophet, a prophet, or somebody close from God, or God, he inform him or give him messages, he will not worship idols, and he will not worship any man. He worship only God, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So when David, he worshipped the Messiah, then David, he must be receiving such a command from his God. Otherwise, he shall not praise the Messiah as God. Why he want to call him my God or my Lord in spirit? So he is, when Muhammad and they speak about the Messiah, he is just a prophet, and they say, which is not true, saying that nowhere in the Bible it says that the Old Testament especially, that the Trinity is exist. But the fact the Trinity is exist, even from the first pages in the book of Genesis, they lie. And that's why I'm trying to say to you, when they say, anyone says something to you, you should be careful about what they say and investigate. Like now, whatever I said to you about Christianity, go and check it out, read it carefully, and if you're not convinced, you're not convinced. Don't take what people say to you blindly, right? Don't, because there's people who lie, there's people they fabricate, there's people, in order just to win an argument, they are willing to lie. And this is famous about Muslims. Like the one who called me before you, this guy is a big fat liar. It says there, you know what, I'm going to ask you about this verse. Do you know Arabic?
No, I don't speak Arabic.
You do not? Okay. In your understanding, when the Quran says, the Jews, they say it, does it sound like Allah saying some of the Jews, or the verse saying the Jews say it? When the Quran says, وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودِ, the Jews say it. Why Muslims, like this guy, he said to me, it says some. Why he added some? Very simple. Because if he did not add some, the Quran sounded stupid. So now we have to add the word some to cover the stupidity. All the Jews making fun of Allah. And that means not a single Jew in the time of Muhammad believed in Allah. Because there's no way somebody pray to God all day long, and then he make fun of the same God all day long. Either they are believers, or if they are not believers, then what do you call them? Jews, right? If I call you a Muslim, that means you believe in Islam. If I call you Christian, that means you believe in Christianity. If you call you Buddhist, that means you believe in Buddhism. But if you don't believe in any, you're an atheist, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to call you a Christian, but you don't believe in Christianity. That would be stupid of me to say. So when Muhammad he say something, the Muslims always they have their method to duct tape. And the duct tape is to add words, sentences, cover it up. This is why we see the Quran is full of those brackets. Like the chapter is speaking about the sun set in a murky water. The Muslims always understood it this way, is the sun set in murky water. Then, 100 years after, the Muslims started rethinking, because now there's knowledge that this can't be true. You know, people, they discover even that the earth is not a flat long time ago. So they start going against such a teaching. Muhammadan, they abrogate their Quran. So suddenly the Quran is a Big Bang. Suddenly the Quran talking about biology. Suddenly the Quran talking about money making, about spaceship, about the atmosphere. And then after more than 30 years of lying, and I made books about it, exposed their lies, the Muslims, they admitted that, in fact, all scientific miracles are nonsense in the Quran. All of it.
Yeah, I watched Ali Dawa. He did it as well. He made him. He said there's a mistake on scientific. I was like,
nonsense. He said this is nonsense. Nonsense. Yeah, nonsense. Yeah, but do you know why he said nonsense? Because obviously people are laughing at Islam right now, and the Muslims themselves are leaving Islam, and this is a fabrication. I mean, it takes you 5 minutes to find out that all the statement they say, they manipulate the text. They take this guy, he said to me, some. There's no some. It's a some. But there is no some. And there is some Jews in Yemen. And there's one Jew is there. You know, they try their best to fix. Like, as an example, in the Quran it says that the Samiri, he did mislead them. But the Samaritan or Samaritan, they are not exist in the time of Moses. So how a man who was taught by his God, he say and he makes such a mistake? And this is exists in 3 verses in the Quran, chapter 20, verse 85, 2087, 2095. The guy, he keep repeating the same stupid thing. So how a person, he is coming from God, he miss the history, and he miss hundreds of years differences, and he claims someone exists at that time when they are not exist.
Yeah.
And anyway, you know, for you now you decide to leave Islam, good for you. But I would like to see if you want to accept Jesus as your savior, because I say to you, I have no reason. You believe in Christ or not, this is your business. You know, I don't know you, you do not know me, and I'm not going to get paid because you became a Christian. And even I don't claim any honor for me, for myself. I believe that the Lord, you know, he help us, he use us, to make people see. But at the end of the day, I believe the Lord, he is the one who use every one of us for his glory. So if you believe in Christ, you will receive the salvation, and I will receive nothing of myself, for it is the Lord who use us. So I invite you, my friend, to accept the Messiah if you want to be saved. For Islam is out of your life now. You decide to leave the false Muhammad, false prophet. And if you think about there is any person in the world, he have a better character for you to follow than the Messiah. Isn't he holy?
Yeah, he's holy because the Quran says his words, and he's holy.
He is holy. He never commits sin. He never, imagine at that time, and even now, imagine if you can make somebody, bring him back from the death. How much people will pay you? How many kings they will be your servant? Just bring me back from death. How many blind people they are willing to give all their worth to Jesus, just so they can see again. Yesterday, actually, I don't know if you were listening. This Abdul yesterday, he said to me that in the story about Matthew, I don't know if you heard him. He said, when I said to him, you were listening? Okay, that's good. And he said that Jesus was not, forgiven sin. He was telling him your sin is forgiven. You see how they lie? I mean, the Muhammadan, they have no shame. the whole verses is about Jesus forgive his sin, and that's why the Jews, they want to kill him. So when Yeshua, he said, your sin is forgiven, what happened? The Jews, they were saying, this guy, he is committing a blasphemy against God. What is the blasphemy he's doing exactly? He said, your sin is forgiven. The Abdul, who is reading the same words, he says, no, he's just telling him news. Like, God, he told him that, you see how they lie? And here in front of us it says that those people, they accuse him an act of something disgusting, because who can forgive sin except God? And then Jesus said to him, which one is easier? Your sin are forgiven you, and all arise and stand up. And then if you read, continue, but that you may know that the Son of Man has the authority in earth to forgive sin. To forgive sin. But this potato, he denied that Jesus is the one who forgives sin. Why? Because he decided to copy one verse from the whole chapter, and he says, see, Jesus did not do anything. Jesus, he do it by the will of God, everything he have. The Son have authority to forgive sin. The Muslim, when they say, when they say that God,
that Jesus created a bird, clay.
The Quran says that too. What the Muslim they will say? The Muslim they will say, by permission of Allah. Okay, first of all, prove it, this permission thing. Otherwise, I can say now, okay, this stupid Biden, he become president by my permission. Talk is cheap, The president of China, he became a president because of my permission. That's funny. Same time, Allah could not do anything. So what is confirmed that Jesus can create, that make him a creator, what confirmed that Jesus can forgive sin, and he have the authority. Now, where Jesus, he received his authority from? From the Father. Because remember, the Messiah is born of the Father. Do you remember what I said to you, the crown prince and the king?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay, what is the authority of the crown prince? From the Father. So the Messiah, all he have, this is why he keeps saying, because people, they see in front of them, they see a man, like he's a man like us, he look like us. What he's talking, that's why they're angry from him. You forgive sin. And the same story appear in Luke 5, where they said, who is the one who can forgive sin save God? Only God. The same story, the same exact story. Only God, he can forgive sin. How this person, he forgives sin? So the Muslim, because they have no dignity, especially the ones who try to, you see, I respect any human being, but the one who lie to make things up, I don't respect, right? Man, your sin are forgiven you. And then the scribes, the Pharisees, those other rabbis, they began to think, and they were saying, who is this who speak blasphemy? Who is able to forgive sins except God alone? The Abdul who called me yesterday, he said there's nowhere it says he is the one forgiving sin. But this is what the Bible says. They lie. And then they say to you, where Jesus claimed to be God? Where? Well, the one only who can forgive sin is God, the verse in front of you. And Jesus, he knew their thought.
Yeah, he knew it.
Yeah.
So, I understand all of it. I have to go off now, but I will read the Bible.
All right.
Because I want to accept Christ. I want to.
All right. Well, I will not push you unless you are convinced. We are not the same as the Muslim who ask you to say Shahada. You better. We want you to believe, not to say Shahada. We don't have such a thing. We want you to believe, because you cannot fool God. You have to believe when you speak with the Messiah. He read your mind. As you see, even the verse in front of us, he was reading their mind. They did not even talk. He is reading their mind, and this is something only God can do. In their mind, they were saying, who is the one can forgive sins save God? So the Messiah, he read your mind and my mind. So don't never say, I believe unless you mean it, because that will not be counted for you in the book of life, unless which is something you meant from your heart, which means you are truly, truly a believer. In Islam, you can say, I am a Muslim, even if you don't believe. And actually, the video you mentioned, where Lili Dawah, he mentioned that about Andrew Tetz, if you remember, he mentioned about the story of the Bedouin. And he said the Bedouin don't believe. And he said, yes, is Andrew Tet is a believer? No. Correct? Yeah. Okay, but he's a Muslim. Yeah. So how a person can be a believer, how he can be a Muslim but not a believer, because Islam is not really a religion. Islam is a gang. You know, you join for a benefit. He did not join because he believed. He joined for the benefit. All right, my friend. Thank you very much for calling. I will be happy to